Everyone knows that keeping a balloon in the air is easy, but do you think you could beat the world record for keeping 2 balloons in the air using only your head? The record is currently set at 6 minutes 34 seconds. If you could beat that time, comment your time below. The rules are simple. You just need a standard commercially available balloon that's pumped up to over 8 inches in diameter, that's 20 centimeters, and of course it's gotta be air, no helium in it. The only tricky part here, each touch has to alternate the balloons, and that rule made this record deceptively difficult the first time I went after it. If I can pull it together for over 6 minutes 34 seconds, that will get me one step closer to my ultimate goal, to be able to hold the most concurrent world records in 2024. The stakes are high with this one. I'm gonna need to put my body on the line and risk it all for the chance at glory. I don't think I'm gonna need to practice a lot. I'm just gonna go for it. I've broken the record before. I've held it at a little over 3 minutes. Fun fact, Joel Strasser, who just placed second on The Amazing Race, was a witness for that record attempt.
Come on! 3 minutes, 40 seconds, 13-inch diameter, 3 minutes, 40 seconds.
My wife got my Guinness World Record supplies labeled right here. I got some balloons. Sometimes it's pretty easy. Just get the balloons out. It's a nice big balloon. Meets the minimum requirement of Guinness. I think it's gotta be 8-inch diameter, 20 centimeters. Sometimes it happens. I'm gonna have to get them a little more evenly inflated when I actually go for this record. This one's a lot bigger than that one. Good enough for practice. I've held this record before, so I'm just gonna give it a shot. Get some stuff out of the way here. That should be enough room. I've held this record before, about 3 minutes. Let's see if I can get to 6. Here we go.
I've got 10 interesting facts about balloons. The first balloons ever made were from dried animal bladders. The rubber balloon was invented by Michael Faraday in 1824 during an experiment with various gases. It's the same guy who made the Faraday cage. Well, the ceilings are a lot higher than my house, so I don't have to worry about running into the ceiling fan or hitting the walls. But just because I have the space to run doesn't mean I should use it. If I can keep it contained, I'll be able to last much longer.
And over. This is harder than I remember. An actual attempt, I probably wouldn't go quite that hard. All right, let's give it another shot here.
I want to keep it better controlled than last time. Nice, soft, even hits.
Right away, I'm finding that there's a problem that keeps happening. It's pretty easy to mess up and get the balloons to collide, but as soon as there's a collision, it's almost impossible to get the other balloon before it touches the ground. You have to alternate every hit. So if you hit this one and then you hit this one, this is the next one you gotta hit, but this is always coming down first, so it's pretty much over if the balloons hit.
All right, that's 303 bumps. That's about 6.5 minutes, close to the current record, but my daughter woke up. Guess what, sweetie girl? We got 6.5 minutes. How you feeling after your nap? Bit smiley? Oh, good. Well, tomorrow is the day I'm going for the official Guinness World Records title. So today's practice, I'm gonna try to break the world record to give myself confidence for the official attempt tomorrow. Here we go.
The word balloon likely comes from Italian, the word pallone, meaning large ball.
Okay, it's about a minute. Oh dear, come on.
The first hot air balloon passengers were a duck, a sheep, and a rooster.
That was one of the best saves I've ever had, about 2 minutes down. In just over 2.5 minutes. That first 45 seconds felt super, super easy, but even though I never felt like I got in the groove of like bounce, 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 easy, easy, it felt like I was running around that whole time. Gotta make it feel easier for longer stretches. Gotta get to 7 minutes tomorrow. My forehead is starting to get sweaty. That's the problem when the balloon gets wet, so I need to be able to keep it dry. All right, here we go. Let's get a good run here.
I thought this record was gonna be an easy one. I'd held it before. I was just gonna give it a practice or two and break it, but it took a lot longer to build up the error tolerance because there's such a small margin of error if the 2 balloons collide. The record attempt is over. When I get the witnesses there, the camera's rolling, I wanna get this on the first try, and I wanna go much longer than I've gone before.
All right, 8 minutes. Finally broke the record in practice. That's the first time since that record was taken several years ago. When I had the balloons stacked, I didn't panic. I was able to just take the balloon that was lower and just hit it lightly with my head to the side, making room for this balloon and then quickly diving over to the one that I nudged over. Before, I was trying to like whack it as hard as I could. Timing's off. It often goes up instead of sideways. It goes too far. The nice little pop to the side with the side of the head makes it much, much better. Tomorrow I'll have a much bigger gym, much wider area. We're gonna crush this record. Come on.
Going after the Guinness World Records title. For the longest time, to keep 2 balloons in the air with a head, I've been doing practice over the last weeks using 2 commercially available balloons inflated with air only.
I'm going to show these are both well over 20 centimeters in diameter. Circumference is 93 centimeters, way above the minimum required size. When I release the second balloon, that's when the timer will start. Here we go on 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm really glad the gym was cold because this is a physically demanding exercise and I get so sweaty that sweat beads form on my forehead and then get on the balloon, which affects the weighting, which makes them fall differently. So I had to wipe my forehead a bunch of times during the attempt. If the room is cold, I don't sweat nearly as much and it prevents all that sweat from forming on my forehead, so I don't have to wipe my forehead quite as much. I count the number of hits I have on the balloon, which allows me to know approximately where I am in the record. And when I got around that 6-minute mark, I could feel my heart rate spiking. Fortunately, this isn't a fine motor skill action, so I was able to stay focused and it didn't mess me up keeping the balloons in the air, but I was definitely nervous until I passed the record. There were a few close calls along the way. I had to adjust to get the balloons back toward the center of where I was keeping them in the air. And there was a couple times I thought I was gonna lose it, but I was able to pull it back together, gave myself a little pep talk and kept going. When I passed the mark during the attempt, I was able to relax and go on to almost double this record. When I completed it, I was thrilled. Come on! I took this record back after several years of seeing it in someone else's hands.
14 minutes. Ooh, I'm a little dizzy. Longest time to keep 2 balloons in the air with just a head. Previous record, 6 minutes, 43 seconds. The balloons got a little bit sweaty there. I'll measure them up again. 93 centimeters around. And this one, that one as well, 36 inches around. Air only, no helium. Come on. I more than doubled this one and make it a little bit harder. Always feels great to get a PR during an official attempt.
This is record 162 in my pursuit of holding the most world records. The current target is 182, but it is a moving target. I learned that even if you've held a record before, if you haven't been practicing it, it's harder than you might expect. And I should have expected it to be hard because it is a world record, but I practiced at it for weeks and the record's mine again. This is a fun record to practice for. It's physically demanding, gets the heart rate up. It's basically playing keepy-uppy with the head. My boys love keepy-uppy. If you can think of any world records I should attempt to achieve my goal of holding the most world records, comment below and yours might be next.